But the main thing that's going to turn you into becoming a true mental warrior is to seriously... Yo, how you doing today, mate? You know what this video's about, you've seen the title, and I'm not here to mess around. So let's get straight into this shit. Now, the meaning of becoming a high value man boils down to many things, but ultimately I believe it boils down to one thing in particular, and that thing is to know exactly what you want from your life. It is to be in control of your mind and do whatever it is necessary to achieve your goals and your mission. And yeah, if that means prioritizing yourself over everybody else, then so be it. Because you'd understand that in order to support and provide for the people around you, i.e. the people you care for, and the people that provide you with purpose in the first place, you need to be somewhat selfish and do what's best for you. And that's because constantly trying to please others is going to result in you living a life as Mr. Nice Guy, where you constantly sacrifice your time and energy for the sake of other people, leaving you in a rut, where not only are you feeling burnt out and hating yourself and the way you live your life, but also living a life of being unable to provide value to the people you care for, which is precisely your overall purpose anyway. And that's why I believe a man of high value understands that being selfless is actually one of the most selfish things that he can do. Because if you really think about it, constantly giving other people what they want is going to lead to you doing nothing towards what you want and what you truly believe in. Meaning you won't have anything meaningful to offer people and you won't have any real value to provide. You probably aren't going to be truly respected by people and you will not have a voice. You will simply just go through your life with a standard lifestyle and leaving an average impact on the community around you, which is fine, you know, if that's what you want deep down, but I think it's highly unlikely that if you're watching this video, you are aspiring to live the life of an average man. In fact, I'm pretty certain that everyone would not live an average life if they had the choice. And I mean, I'll be the first to admit that I definitely do not want that. I mean, I don't think it's much of a secret anymore, but not even trying to pursue a life away from the average lifestyle would eat me alive. And I can hand on heart say that I would not be able to live with myself if I didn't continue prioritizing myself and my goals. And actually, I know this for a fact because I spent most of my life doing nothing towards my personal desires, and I just did things to make other people happy, which quite frankly made me a fucking useless person. Seriously, I had nothing to offer anybody. And I had no aspirations of bettering myself or even trying to become a high value man. But with that being said, I just want to add that there is no end destination to this and it is a constant pursuit. And I think a high value man recognizes that feeling grateful about this pursuit is all the satisfaction that he needs. And even for me personally, this is something that I'm trying to work on. And I find it very easy to get caught up in thinking about the end destination, especially when things aren't going as well as I want them to. So it's important to remember that this journey never ends and it is something that requires constant persistence. And to actually embark on this journey that I'm talking about, I think the first thing that you should be doing is actually just stop watching videos about it and actually commit yourself to following your aspirations and prioritizing yourself. Because at the end of the day, mate, like, this journey is going to be different for everybody, and quite frankly, nobody is going to do it for you, you know? But there is nothing wrong with taking what I'm saying and using it to make your own decisions. In fact, that's what I'm hoping for people to do. But whatever it is that you choose to do, make sure you are listening to your intuition and your priorities and do what you actually want to do. Not what your mum wants, not what your gran wants, or your dog, or your best mate. It's what you want. Because for once in your life, mate, it's time to be selfish. And just make sure that once you commit to whatever it is, you just remain persistent. Because if you don't quit, you literally can't fail. It's that simple. It's that simple. Anyway, moving on slightly. You know earlier when I mentioned how a high value man has control over his mind and his thoughts and all that? Well, the thing is, most people don't actually understand how to do this or how advantageous it is to be in control and to love your mind. And the thing is, you can literally train yourself to do this by meditating. And I've previously said in other videos how I think people need to disregard their assumptions about meditating, because most people think it's weird or cringy, and I genuinely believe that this is preventing people from becoming better versions of themselves. Which is a shame, boys, because we want to better ourselves, don't we? You know? So why wouldn't we even at least try it? I mean, to be fair, that's exactly the thoughts that I used to have about meditating. But then I actually decided to give it a proper go, and I realised how useful it was. And if you haven't watched any of my other videos, you won't understand how much I actually swear by meditating now. So I'll attach a link in the description of this video about how you can get started with meditation. And trust me, boys, you are going to want to try this at least a few times. And please trust me on this one, it is well worth your time. Which brings me on to my last tip for you today, my brothers, which is pretty much to just focus on learning as much and as often as you can about improving yourself physically and mentally, because constantly expanding your knowledge about yourself and your mind makes you an unstoppable force. Like, just think how you could be in 6 months' time if you dedicated yourself to just bettering yourself and learned how to pursue the life of the high-valued man that you really want to become. So when I talk about topics such as meditating and stopping alcohol, why not try to expand your knowledge on those subjects? As I said, the plan here is to be in love with your mind. Because the power of your mind is what will give you the things you desire, and having a positive mindset will give you a higher chance of achieving your desires, and having a negative mindset is the reason for why you know what you want deep down but do nothing about it. But anyway, that is all for now. Thanks for watching, and see ya!